Hey you guys, it's Christina from Rawfully Organic and Fully Raw. Many of you guys know that I run Rawfully Organic here in Houston, Texas, which is the largest nonprofit raw foods food cooperative here in the United States. It is dedicated to help communities cooperate and share in seasonal and affordable bounty. One of the most frequently asked questions that I get all of the time is, Christina, how do I know when my fruit is ready and ripe to eat? One of the most important things that you can do for your body is to pick ripe fruit. Not only does ripe fruit taste sweeter, but it has more nutritional value. All of the starches from the unripe fruit will have been converted into simple sugars, which are more easily and readily absorbed by your body. Not only that, but you get more nutritional bang for your buck in regards to how much your body is actually getting from the food. So what I have done today is I have picked out my favorite spread of raw fruits and vegetables and a good variety that you can find anywhere all the time to help inspire you to eat raw, ripe fruit and to be fully raw. A lot of these items I've gotten from my box here at Rawfully Organic, and the ones that I wasn't able to get from Rawfully Organic, I have gone out and I've collected to still show you how to pick and when to know ripe fruit, or when it is ready to eat. There are 5 things to remember when trying to pick ripe fruit. We want it to appeal to our 5 senses of sight, smell, taste, touch, and even sometimes hearing. We want it to look richer to our eyes, we want it to smell sweeter to our sniffle, and we want it to even sometimes feel softer to the touch. Sometimes maybe even mushy, but not always. Sometimes even, if you're picking a melon, you may even want it to sound a little bit hollow to know if it's truly ripe or not. All right, you guys, so let's get started. If you like this video, I hope that you share it with all of your family and all of your friends to help inspire them to eat more fruits and vegetables and to be more fully raw as well. Here are some easy fruit ripening tips. Here's my first selection of favorite fruits that I want to show you. And I want to start off by saying that if you're curious to know how to store your produce, you can also check out my video on easy raw food storage tips that I also have on my channel at Rawfully Organic. Okay, so I've grouped my fruits into little sections for you so that you can see how easy it is to do this. When you ripen your fruit, it's actually not complicated at all. Things like citrus, oranges, grapefruits, or lemons are pretty much ready to go as long as they're picked ripe from the tree. Things like pears, you want to sit out for 3 to 4 days and you want them to be a little bit ugly and very soft to the touch. Funny story about pears is that I used to store these under my bed at Vanderbilt University when I was doing my undergrad, and I used to put them in a sock drawer to get them to ripen and to have all of their ethylene gas mixed together with bananas. Who knew? Apples can be left on your counter and eaten pretty much any time. They're ready to go. Things like zucchinis, cucumbers, and pickles. These are all better tasting when they're fresh picked. They are a fruit because they do have seeds, and they can last up to 2 weeks in your fridge, but you want to eat them when they're crispy and fresh. I know beets are not a fruit, but I do want to include them in this video because people are always asking me what to do with their beets. When not used in a juice, beets can actually be left on the counter when you cut off the tops for about 2 weeks, and they get very wrinkly and very sweet. Believe it or not, but after that point, you could even eat them like you would eat an apple. They're very good. Persimmons. These are an Asian fruit, one of my top 5 favorite fruits that I love to eat in the fall. And these are ready to eat when they're extremely mushy to the touch and they almost melt in your hand. That is how ripe that they need to be in order to be gushy, ooey gooey sweet. Chirimoyas. These are a tropical fruit that you will find a lot in Latin America. And they have a black seed inside. When they're ripe, they are browner on the outside and they have a white middle with black seeds. Tastes almost like a sweet custard. It's delicious. All berries can be eaten immediately after you get them, especially strawberries since they tend to mold faster. However, I will add for blueberries that if you keep them in the refrigerator for 1 to 2 weeks, they'll start to get a little bit wrinkly and they get even sweeter. I love eating blueberries when they get a little bit wrinkly. They're just very good. Avocados must be soft to the touch, very much so, and avocados go really well with tomatoes. To take a minute to tell you about tomatoes, tomatoes must never be stored in the refrigerator. They taste sweetest when you leave them out on the counter, perhaps in the sunshine, and that is when all of their true flavors truly come out. And I just love tomatoes. They're a staple item for me. I eat them every day. Any melon, like a cantaloupe or a honeydew, the way to pick when this is ripe is if you take the bottom of it and you just push it in. When it is soft at the bottom and when it smells super sweet, you know that it's ready to eat. So keep in mind you want it to push in or to give a little bit at the end. Things like papayas will also be soft to the touch. Papayas, when they're ripe, will turn bright orange on the outside and sometimes look a little bit beaten up, like they've taken a bat of abuse. So keep in mind, you want them to be bright orange or maybe even a little bit brown with speckles and very soft to the touch and sweet to smell. If you're trying to open up a watermelon, this is one of those where you're going to use your sense of hearing. You always want it to have a hollow sound and perhaps always a very tight skin. Sometimes when you open a watermelon, it's hit or miss, but sometimes you know just by hitting it. People are always asking me about pineapples, and I do want to say that pineapples are ready to eat when they've turned completely yellow or orange on the outside and when they smell super delicious. Another trick is you'll know that all the leaves will start to curl under, and you will be able to take the top of it and twist it off so that you can cut open into this sweet fruit. Let's talk a little bit about bananas, shall we? Bananas must be eaten when they're speckled. Otherwise, they're starchy and they will not taste as sweet as they could be, because when they really are ripe and covered in beautiful brown speckles, it's like sugar crystals melting in your mouth. They taste so good. They taste so good. So good. So good. So good. They taste so good. Okay, so I have a plate of ripe bananas here that I want to show you. And I also want to tell you that if you put bananas in a box together, they will ripen faster. However, I learned very quickly when I was attending Rice University for my later on in graduate studies, I learned that if I spread my bananas around my living space, they do not ripen at the same time. And I think it's because of the airflow. When you put bananas in a box or in a bag with other fruits, they do tend to ripen a little bit faster because all of the ethylene gases are released together, and it will ripen it all faster. A trick of the trade. Here's another type of banana that most people are not really familiar with, but these are red bananas. I like to call them strawberry bananas. And these don't speckle the same, but they do speckle a little bit. They will turn a dark maroon and very soft when they're ripe, and you can kind of give in to them a little bit at the tip when they're ready to be eaten. They're a very sweet and delicious banana. Not everybody will have access to these, but if you are able to find them, give them a try. They're definitely worth it. Okay, so here's one of my all-time favorite fruits, again, which I would like to say, I eat these all the time with my family when I'm in South America with them. Mangoes there are just epic, by the way. They're like the size of my head. There are 3 tips that I want to give you about picking a ripe mango. Number 1, it will smell super sweet. And number 2, it will be very soft to the touch. Almost mushy, but not really. And number 3, not many people know this about a mango, but when it's really ripe, it will almost develop a very oily shine on the skin, and it will feel like it's sweating oil. But that's how you know where it's at its peak, right? Okay, here is a plantain, and you can actually also find these primarily in South America. In other countries other than America, this is probably eaten more frequently than a banana. And they're double in calories almost, and they're, to me, I think sweeter. You cannot eat a plantain when it's yellow, but you must wait until it is completely black to eat it. It'll look really mushy and disgusting on the inside, but when I tell you that it is almost twice as sweet as a banana, I love plantains. I just love plantains. In order for me to make a meal out of them, I will say this. If I'm eating about 12 bananas in a meal, I will probably only eat about 5 or 6 plantains, and I will be stuffed after that. These are heavy in carbs. Love them. Some other fruits that I do want to talk about really quickly that I don't have here with me today are things like durian and jackfruit. Durians, when they're fresh, will actually, they will kind of crack open at the bottom and they will smell super, super rancid, almost like sulfur, but they're fantastic. Another fruit is jackfruit, which will turn brown or yellow on the outside, but it will look just gold and beautiful on the inside, and it will taste like bubble gum. So good. The last thing that I'm going to talk to you about are peaches. Peaches! I love peaches, my beloved peaches, and I'm going to talk about them just because I can, and because this is my own crate that I got from Rafley Organic, my own crate of local peaches. I will tell you this about peaches. Peaches are ready to eat, just like nectarines or stone fruits or apricots. Whenever they smell delicious, whenever they have a million fruit flies around them, and whenever you bite into them, all of the juice gets all over your face. I'm sorry, did you want some of these? You want some of this? Did you really think I was gonna share my peaches with you? Seriously? Seriously? I'm just kidding. I love my peaches, but I'm not gonna share them. Sorry. Alright, so that's how you know when to pick your peaches. You want them to be colorful, vibrant, bright, smelly, and juicy all over your face. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video and found it to be extremely useful to you when learning how to pick ripe fruit. If you guys want to subscribe to my channel for more fully raw education and recipes and dancing in the kitchen and not getting to eat my peaches, please subscribe to Fully Raw Christina. If you want to learn more about local produce or local cooperative communities, you could subscribe to Rafley Organic as well. A fun tip from this video is I wanted to say that all the platters that I used in this video were actually art pieces that I made myself. If you guys want to read a little bit more about me or my education or where I went to school, you guys can check out my bio and the links below this video. And I will also include the links to all of my Facebook pages where you guys can follow and get daily recipes and funny pictures and inspirational tips. And I hope all of you are inspired to go fully raw, because I hope you all see how much I'm passionate about this, and I love sharing these tips with you, because building a community around fruit is probably one of the best things in the whole world. Alright you guys, go get your face messy with some fruit, and I will see you later. Bye!